The 2025 Ascot races were the scene of an unexpected and emotional moment. The British royal couples appeared more in love than ever. Between knowing glances, tender gestures, and radiant smiles, Beatrice and Edoardo, Eugenie and Jack, Peter and Harriet offered the public a rare moment of authenticity. Discover the behind-the-scenes stories, anecdotes, and secrets of this memorable royal day. Under the brilliant sunshine of an elegant Ascot, the British royal family once again captivated attention, but this time it wasn't just the extravagant hats or impeccably tailored dresses that caught the eye. It was the special sparkle in the couple's eyes, that palpable warmth that emanated from every exchange, every smile, every hand held a little tighter than necessary. Holding hands, Beatrice and Edoardo seemed to float in a timeless bubble. The princess, radiant in a flowing pastel-hued gown, kept casting knowing glances at her husband, who, elegant in his perfectly tailored three-piece suit, responded with tender smiles. Keen observers noticed that they slipped aside several times to exchange a few words in hushed tones, as if the hustle and bustle of Ascot didn't exist around them. Further away, Eugenie and Jack also presented a picture full of sweetness. Married for several years and blessed parents, they have retained that rare spark, the one that makes everyday life shine. The cameras captured these almost imperceptible gestures, a hand gently placed on the back, a lingering gaze, a smile that appears for no apparent reason, other than being together. And then there was Peter Phillips, the eldest of Queen Elizabeth II's grandchildren, accompanied by Harriet, his companion. Their complicity was obvious, punctuated by heartfelt laughter and natural exchanges. Watching them, one would have thought they were two teenagers discovering the lightness of love, and yet their relationship is already part of a solid and confident history. Ascot, traditionally a place of elegance and protocol, seemed to have transformed into an intimate setting for these couples. Beyond the races, the grandstands, and the champagne, scenes of private life were played out before an amazed audience. Commentators, accustomed to meticulously executed royal appearances, were surprised by this spontaneity. The Windsors, often perceived as reserved, indulged in a form of naturalness that touched the hearts of the public. Confidences gathered behind the scenes suggest that this relaxed atmosphere is no accident. The last few months have been marked by more frequent family gatherings, strengthening the bonds between family members. In this context, couples seem to have found a space where love can express itself freely, far from tensions and official obligations. The photographs that circulated on social media from the very beginning bear witness to this. The shots are not frozen, they breathe, they tell a story. We see Beatrice burst out laughing at a remark from Edoardo, Eugenie whispering something in Jack's ear that makes him smile brightly, Peter and Harriet exchanging a look that speaks volumes about their complicity. The spectators on site, for their part, speak of a day that felt more like a family reunion than a public event. Sure, the cameras were there, the photographers too, but the atmosphere had something authentic and almost private about it. The formal elegance of Ascot was not neglected, quite the opposite. The ladies wore spectacular hats, the men impeccable suits, and every detail of their clothing seemed thoughtful. But this visual perfection was accompanied by a human warmth that transcended the image. The most attentive observers noticed another revealing detail. On several occasions, conversations between the couples began, interrupted by bursts of laughter or gestures of affection, as if the official event were merely an excuse to spend time together. This attitude, although rare in royal appearances, reminds us that behind titles and positions, there are men and women who love, laugh, share complicity and simple moments. What was particularly striking was the diversity of expressions of love that could be observed. In Beatrice and Edoardo, it was the sweetness of a couple who understand each other without words, a silent language made up of glances and small attentions. In Eugenie and Jack, it was the familiar warmth of a happy home, that reassuring affection that settles over time without ever losing its sincerity. For Peter and Harriet, it was the sparkling joy of a relationship where every moment seemed like a discovery. Royal commentators were quick to point out that this public display of affection could help further humanize the image of the British monarchy, in a context where proximity to the public is a crucial issue. In an era where institutions must constantly prove their relevance, showing this accessible and sincere face could be a valuable asset. At the end of the day, As the horses returned to their stables and the guests began to leave the stands, the couple stayed a while, enjoying the last moments. We saw them chatting with friends, posing for souvenir photos, but also taking little moments together, as if to prolong this enchanted interlude. Social media, in full swing, quickly transformed these moments into symbols. Videos of tender gestures multiplied, accompanied by admiring comments. Some saw it as proof that love withstands all trials, even media pressure. Others emphasized that this day would remain as one of the most beautiful demonstrations of royal complicity in recent years. What is certain is that Ascot 2025 will not only be remembered for its winners on the track, but also for this unexpected and warm image of the Windsors. An image that reminds us that, behind the titles and responsibilities, there are hearts that beat as one. And you, do you think that this displayed sincerity could permanently transform the public's perception of the British royal family?